In a world where the odds are stacked against him, one man defies destiny. Walking Through Fire, Whatever It Takes is a book by life coach, facilitator, public speaker and firewalking instructor Cobus Visser. Turning every setback into a comeback, Cobus has scaled Mount Kilimanjaro on crutches, roared the nation's rugby legends towards their greatest victories, and inspired thousands across the globe through firewalking and the power of mental fortitude. Now, this read is for those who dare to dream, and he joins us now this morning as we unpack the offering. Cobus, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. And I'm excited to share a little bit about me to you today.
Absolutely, it's an absolute pleasure. Yeah, you and I have got a story to tell because we both summited. You summited in 2018, I summited only in July. So
yes.
Let's talk about what inspired you to write this book, eh?
It's my life story. So first and foremost, for me, was to leave a legacy. You know, if I had to pass away, right, and if I have to ask, how would you have loved to read a book about your great-grandfather or your great-great-grandparents, right? It shows you where you're from. And I was thinking, if I had to pass away, what am I leaving behind? What is the legacy? And that's actually started the process of writing a book so that my kids one day can learn from my lessons, my stories, and go out and know that anything is possible.
What kind of lessons do you want to impart on your kids? I mean, what kind of legacy do you want to imprint on your family?
To never give up. Right. To do whatever it takes. Right. And the other creed is to live without regret. Right? We only have this one life to live. And live it without excuses and blaming other people's, but taking charge of creating your own reality and your own destiny.
And I take your point of never giving up, because you summited Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa, on crutches. Take us through that experience.
It was life-changing, right? I remember the one night, it was on the night of the summit. It's pitch black, it's dark, you can't see anything, and I'm getting frustrated. And my guide says to me, Cobus, with your headlamp, look down. Can you see your next step? And I look down, and I'm like, he says, all that you have to focus is give your next step. But simply, I have to tell you, there was a point just as the sunrise came up, just before Stella Point. We looked at the highest sunrise in Africa.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give up. I couldn't breathe. I had altitude sickness. I was in pain because I was climbing in with my crutches.
Sure.
I just couldn't. And as I was sitting there, my friend looked at me and he said, Cobus, let's go down. And I said, no, come on, Will. You can't give up your dream for me.
Yeah.
Go climb this mountain for us.
Especially when you're very close.
Yes, we were like this close. And so he stands up, he makes eye contact, he says, Albona, I see you. We give heart-to-heart hug, we breathe in a little bit, and he says, Cobus, just remember why you came to climb this mountain. And he leaves. And now the oxygen takes a little bit longer. And after a few moments, I remember why I was there to climb that mountain.
Yeah.
And guess what? I pushed through. And I think that's the thing, is when you think you can't, you can't. But if you start remembering why you're doing things, what is your why? Suddenly you have more energy, more power, and I pushed through and I got to the top.
What is that why? What gave you the courage to push through until the summit?
For me, it was my two boys, my Tian and Vian. So when that put me on this path was my oldest son. When he was 4 years old, we were expecting another child, and he was drawing a picture. And because I'm a hemophilic and I'm 24/7 in pain, he's had two babies, and at a crossover, the one baby says, Dad, I don't want a little sister. I want a little brother that can play with me because you can't. And when he came to me, I had a cross over me, and his words to me was, Dad, you are dead to me.
Wow.
And that put me on this path, and that changed me. And I remembered as I want to show him. And because when I came back, his first words to me was, Dad, I see you. You are alive.
Gosh, how old is he?
He's now 14 years old. So, yeah, it's life.
Man.
And then my second one is 10 years old, and now my pride and joy.
And you were diagnosed with hemophilia when you were very young, eh?
Yes.
Just take us through that.
So I'm born as hemophilic. For those who don't know, it's a bleeder. It means my blood doesn't clot, so I don't produce a clotting factor or a plasma. Now, if I just show you my elbow, it can't go straight, right? So I can't touch my shoulders. I don't have, I can't even do palms up. And the doctor said I have to actually get both my elbows replaced. I have to get both my ankles fused. And you agree, that is reality. However, I read this quote by Gandhi that says, everything starts with a belief that becomes our thoughts. As a man thinketh, so easy. Our thoughts become our words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Our words become our action, our actions, our habits, our values, and ultimately our destiny. And so I had to change my beliefs. And I think that's why firewalking, walking through fire changed my life so much. Because if I can do that, I can do anything. And so I applied the power of the mind to help me to get through it. And now you saw me walking into this room today without my crutches.
And, well, I suppose walking through fire is, you're saying that figuratively, right?
No,
so
I actually do. I've now
you actually, like in the literal sense?
Literal sense. I get people to walk through fire, yeah. Like 500 to 600 degrees Celsius of cold. So I would have loved to do it here today, but, we can't now. But, yeah, I get people to walk through it without getting burnt. So if you don't get burned on
That's
500
insane.
to 600 degrees Celsius, what other beliefs do you hold on so much so that you believe that it's true, but you never question it? And that's where the firewalking comes in. So yeah, my son started when he was 2.5 years old.
What about the discomfort, though, of being burned? What does that tell you? Because maybe you're trying to send us a particular message by walking through the fire, but then what's the story behind the hurt, behind the discomfort of walking on fire?
It's all in the mind. It's all in mind that we create that we're going to get hurt. What if you don't get hurt? What if you focus on, because the first step is the hardest step. It's like anything in life. It's
of course.
However, what do you focus on? Because energy flows where you focus. So if you focus on fire is red and it's burning, it's going to burn. What we do is we focus on where are we going. Like on the mountain, you look up, where am I going? All that you have to do is then keep moving forward. And guess what? We chant ice cold. So if I say ice cold, what do you hear? Ice cold.
Ice.
What do you see? Ice. What are you going to feel? Ice.
Ice, yeah.
And when you walk, most people say, but that was so ice cold. I said, because yes, you told your brain it's ice cold.
Sure. And I see the theme of this book is living without regret. Well, there's obviously no question that you don't have any regrets in life, do you?
Our life is too short. And my challenge is to not only parents, but people out there, tell people that you love them when you have still the time. Reach out to people. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't say, tomorrow I will do it. Do it today. And live without that regret.
What is that turning point in your life that you reflect so fervently in this book?
I think the reflection was with my son, the story that I told you.
Okay.
That changed because that changed my whole life. That put me in this path that I am today, to speak to people, to inspire people, and to just go around the world and help people to live their fullest, to their fullest potential, if I have to say it in that way.
Right.
And to give them hope.
Of course.
And to share unconditional love, Simpiwe.
Yeah, yeah. And do you want to share with us some of your biggest victories in your life?
My biggest victories is working with a team called the Southern Kings rugby team, where I met Makozolo Mampimpe, and he's also part in the book, and coach, and where we took a team with these philosophies, where we changed their whole mindset of doing whatever it takes. And in 2017, they went on to beat some of the best teams in the competition. They won like 6 games, and so that was amazing. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I could never play sport. And people say, give up on your dreams, right? And I had to dream. I wanted to do it, but because of my reality, I can't, right? However, I could. I just played it in a different way. So for a season, I was part of a super rugby franchise, working with professionals that are friends of mine today. You know, that became a real. So my dream came true and just in a different way.
So I like that point. I like that point, that you want to do it in a different way.
Yes.
You can, but in a different way.
Definitely.
Wow, that is absolutely outstanding. So who is this book aimed at? Who did you write this book for? Is it those who are go-getters and who think that there's nothing they can't do in this world? Or those who are despondent, those who've lost hope and everything?
So first and foremost, it was for my boys. So, just for people out there, it was to inspire them. So when I'm not there anymore. And then it realizes for the people out there that have lost hope, to give them hope again that the impossible is possible, that we live in an amazing country, that we live in an amazing world, right?
Sure.
And we have to appreciate and be grateful for what we have. So it's to inspire those people that are just looking for that igniting of a fire and a burning fire in them again, to say like, I can do this. If Cobus can do it, then I can do it as well.
Where can you get a copy?
Copy as people, if you want a signed copy and a specialized copy, you contact me. So it's Cobus cobusvisser.com, or it's being rolled out. It's on Amazon. It's being rolled out to exclusive books and a few bargaining book places in the country I know. So the other day I was at Cape Town International Airport, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, there's my book. It's just the most amazing feeling to see.
I can imagine, man. Cobus, lovely chatting to you. This is such a brilliant masterpiece. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
And I want my hug before I go.
Definitely. All right. Well, Cobus, the Viking Visser, renowned for using his own life experiences as a speaker and coach to motivate and inspire others, just released his brand new book titled Walking Through Fire, Whatever It Takes.